like court shows anyway.
I was about to say, one year you had to like court
And there's
shows.
a ton of them on TV now.
I just
Oh
think
my
she's, I just think she has her moments where she's funny as fuck.
You can $7 million a year. You can do that too.
I mean, well,
You be funny sometimes, and you be happy all the time.
you're right. She fucking, she be slicing them defendants and them people up.
Well, what about your boy? You see your boy's new show?
Who?
Ice T.
What do you got a show doing?
He's like it's called The Mediator. You ever seen this?
The Mediator?
It's called The Mediator.
I have not seen this.
And people have arguments about stuff. They come to see him so he can mediate.
And he split the argument? Oh, no.
And he's wearing a little black suit with a little red, white tie.
I'm done.
With a little short, almost Covada's haircut.
No.
He done went to full gamut, dog. He done went to full gamut. He done went from sugar to shit.
Did you say Ice T or Ice Cube?
Iced Tea.
I can't believe
He
it.
done went from sugar to shit.
I can't believe that man was a cop killer.
From cop killer to
To
exactly.
a mediator.
When he played a cop on TV once.
And then
years.
right from cop killer to cop.
For years.
No, he didn't. That was Ice T.
That's what we talking about,
That's
Ice
what
T.
we talking
That shit. Oh,
He said Ice T both times.
Oh, well.
And I don't know where you got Ice Cube
He
from.
got food in his
because I'm a
That's what
crackhead.
it is.
He got food in his
He
ear.
wanted it to be Ice Cube.
How long before we can't make fun of crackheads?
Huh?
And we ain't gonna never not be able to make fun of crackheads. Because for one,
That's a dying
crackheads,
breed for one thing.
crackheads won't die.
But I'm just saying that's a dying breed. I don't think there are any young crackheads.
We're not getting no new, we're not getting
That's
no
what
new
I'm saying.
ones.
That's
But the
what I'm
ones
saying.
that's been doing it for
They
a
be
long
hanging.
time.
They be hanging, don't they? I think that crack deserves something.
You got to. I went home a couple weeks ago and I saw a few. I'm like, damn, bro.
You still kick it?
alive?
Yep. It's still doing
Still out here on the street killing it. I'm like, bro, you look like shit.
I know, man. Crack. Yeah, I don't.
Witness at it best is wet.
I don't think young people do that shit. Now, they mess around with that.
Now, they do coke.
They do meth. It's better. It's longer high.
They do
But-
coke. They do meth too.
But they really doing that codeine more than. any other
Fucking
stuff.
that and Molly and Percocet.
Yep, and Percocets. Yeah, I hear
They be
Percocet
fucking them perks up.
and lean or whatever they
Yeah,
call it.
they be fucking
Or
that shit
stick,
up. And that shit got,
syrup.
that shit got Lil Wayne fucked up.
It depends on what place you're at.
He was gonna have a seizures, wasn't he?
Yeah.
There's a couple of them had seizures because of that crap.
That shit
One
got-
dude died, didn't he?
Huh?
Who? From a seizure from that lane?
Yeah. Wasn't it one of the younger guys?
Oh, wait a minute.
Somebody
I think-
did that.
Yeah, I do remember
somebody
that.
did. I can't
Like,
remember who it was though. But yeah, somebody
Double
did.
XL or
Triple X Intentation, something. I don't know his name. But I think I know what you're talking about.
one got shot in the face. The other one guy
Yeah.
Not
was
shot
walking
the
in the
face.
airport and just fucking collapsed.
Not shot in the face, though.
I told you though they should have Taj Mahal, didn't I?
He gonna hook that shit up already.
Wow. Seriously?
What?
They do built that shit.
I
Yeah,
told you.
with one tool, man.
With one tool.
With
he
one
built
tool.
all of that. And he ain't through yet.
I told you it's gonna like the Taj Mahal when he's through.
The name of his channel is Primitive Unique Tools, so he used one fucking tool. Come on, stay away. Stay away,
And that-
baby.
But but really look at it. There's no mistake in the lines. You understand what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
his geometry is on point.
All the lines are straight.
Yeah,
You don't see not the least bit of.
his angles and stuff, yeah.
That's why I don't believe he did that with that. I think the machine did that.
Don't you watch him do it all?
No.
I mean, you see him do
If
some
you-
parts
if
of
you-
it, but
yeah,
some of
you
it's
couldn't watch him do it all.
Yeah, because it takes hours.
Days.
Well, yeah.
That's
You
probably.
see how speed it up. You see how he's moving. He's not moving normal.
That's
speed.
probably what happens then. He does bits and pieces and then brings in the backhoe.
Just bring it back up.
I'm not the background.
What else would you
It's
use?
been in the front of him.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm thinking
Some people like that front hoe.
it better be better than the front. It's the back hoe.
Don't
know
nobody,
her.
see, don't nobody see the back hole.
You don't see the back hole. No, you don't see
You
that.
see that front hole
Mm-hmm.
every time.
Because you on Front Street.
She fronting you off.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me get some weed.
Some real weed.
Yeah.
Did you ever see it?
That's me.
I just want a couple of them,
Some real
them wings.
Only left.
Why you playing with my emotions?
I tried to eat them all, but
You know these little boneless motherfuckers.
should get on those buffalo.
Well, I mean, I ain't got time to pick nothing off the bone just yet.
You just sent me this check?
Mm-hmm.
You did?
Mm-hmm. I got mine Saturday.
Did you get yours? I haven't gotten mine either.
Bastards.
I got mine early Saturday morning.
Yeah, I ain't got mine yet.
Not here. I might not get mine till April.
But I was in the
Why
first.
would you say that?
My taxes are getting held up.
Oh,
They want me to prove who I am.
oh, I got you.
I was in the first group to get the first two stimulus though. So
Oh, okay. I think I was in the second group for the $1,200 one, and I think I was in the first group for the $600 one. I got the $600 one immediate.
that's how it was with both of mine. Both of mine came like the 1,200 came within like a day or two, and then the 600 I think came within a few hours.
Some people really need that money. I mean, I need it too, but some people really need it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, some people are about to not lose their house because of it. Or lose whatever.
Cause now I get thrown out the apartment.
Yeah.
You get yours electronically?
Mm-hmm. Who don't look spicy? It looks spicy fox.
What is the buffalo?
You know?
They
That
not.
bone in wing.
They not. They just a nice buffalo.
It's just a nice buffalo.
Do you not like buffalo?
Who, me?
I do.
No. Yeah.
If it's mild, I don't like hot stuff. I can take a little bit of a little sting, but
Buffalo
not.
sauce is pretty mild.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Oh, they got something that's not.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they do. I experienced that one time.
You know, I was about to say, I don't know the first time some buffalo is hot out there.
Yeah, but I mean, true buffalo sauce isn't hot. It's just red hot.
I can eat that,
Yeah, red hot and butter. It's
and it's
buffalo
got
sauce.
it's got nice flavor to it. I like it. It's not a paprika and shit like that in it.
But motherfuckers don't want that. They want that hot.
I like mine.
I don't see how you can enjoy hot, but some people do. I don't see.
Endorphins, man. It's burning your mouth without burning your mouth.
It's like that show that guy has, the Hot Ones or whatever it's called.
Yeah, dude, that show's nutty. I couldn't do it.
Which one?
I mean, I could do it.
The hot one.
I could do it. I wouldn't want to do it, but
Yeah, I don't like
I
it.
could do it.
Is
And
it
I
the wing
would do
challenge?
I could do it.
Yeah, the wing challenge where he has like all the different Scovilles.
Mm-hmm.
Shit that's retarded.
But the worst one is that phantom chip, that black chip.
Oh,
That one chip that comes, I think it costs $20 or something.
Mm.
I think a buddy of mine did that.
And it's one chip. They say that thing right there. They say it's awesome.
Awesome, my
They
ass.
say it's awesome.
Awesome for fucking blowing out the toilet.
No.
They say it's awesome.
I mean, that's the main reason I don't eat hot shit, because it hurts the next day.
I haven't experienced that.
I don't have that problem.
Oh,
I never experienced that.
Some
But,
nice
but I've
hot-
only had really hot stuff twice.
Oh, well,
in my life.
I'll eat hot stuff. I'll eat some like
see,
Thai food that's decently hot. Not hot, but like a mild, and even the mild is like, whoop. Accidentally ate Indian food that was hot.
The first time I ever ate hot food,
Dude, I didn't know she was buying the food mild. Like, she'd always order it, so I just assumed it was Indian food. I ordered one time on something and I don't tell them I'm mild, and it come out normal, and I was like, I can't eat this shit. Like I thought I was eating Indian food. Turns out I wasn't eating Indian food. I was eating American food with Indian names
No.
because it didn't have any of the chilies in it. Like that's one of the reasons why Indian food is good for you because the chilies help
Yeah,
go through your system and shit.
yeah.
Your terpenes and chilies are good for your microbiome.
Yeah, I met a girl from Thailand back in the 80s. Real pretty girl, beautiful. Oh my God, I would do anything for this girl. And one day she said,
Obviously not, because
it was my
ended up with her.
it was my birthday, and she said, I'm gonna take you out to dinner for your birthday. I said, oh, cool. She said, you ever have Thai food? She was from Thai. You ever had Thai food before? I said, no. She said, okay, come on, let's go. There used to be a Thai restaurant on 8 Mile and Lasher, right down the corner. There used to be a Thai restaurant there. It was there.
Lasher?
Yeah, it was there for years. It's not there
That's a
now.
pretty good corner.
It's not there now, but it was there for years. And we went over there, and she says, I'd never eaten anything hot before. I'd never had it before. She says, do you...
Never had anything hot.
No. Hot. I'm talking hot, but hot peppers in it. I don't mean like hot, like...
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
So, she says, you don't mind spicy? I said, no, I don't mind spicy.
No, I can do it a little bit.
Now, I should remember that she was Thai.
Yeah.
And stuff came to the table, it was all beautiful, it was dressed, it was beautiful. I'm like, look at this, and fruit and all kinds of, flowers and stuff. I'm like, look at this, And I took the look. I started eating, and it tasted really good.
Yeah, first.
Then all of a sudden, I was like,
Something ain't right.
like inside of my mouth was like boiling, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, huh. And she said a little bit of dribble came out of my mouth.
Don't dribble.
She said, I knew then. She said, I knew then you were in trouble.
And you didn't blow out hot, steaming shits out your ass the next day.
No, I didn't.
Oh man, dude, that's where
That's gotta be horrible. I don't even want to imagine
It
that.
is,
That
man. You're
sounds
like,
terrible.
you don't want to go to the bathroom because when it's done, you're like, oh, it still burns.
Oh.
It's like the butthole itself is on fire. And it's like you can't do nothing about it because you can't really itch
You can't
it.
do nothing
No,
about
you
it.
just gotta deal with it. You gotta sit there and just take it. Like, oh.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's horrible, dude.
That sounds terrible.
It is terrible. I think it happens more with chili peppers than it does with, like, curry.
I haven't had that happen before, and I hope I don't.
No.
Y'all need
No, that
Jesus.
doesn't happen to me. But then the other time, a friend of mine is a chef. He had a barbecue at his house. And I guess he liked hot stuff, but
Hey, Braden, if you want to
He
come
killed
by,
me.
I have those. Surprisingly.
he killed me with that hot stuff.
Bring a doobie and you can stand in the window.
Not the man in the window again.
I'm
Man in the window.
I'm starting with the
Thank
man in the
But
window.
I do like, I think it's one of those things where like, because it doesn't do anything to you. Like as bad as it hurts, it hasn't really, it's not harming you. Because if you catch yourself on fire, you're like burning the skin, it doesn't, stop doing that.
I'm sorry.
Until I get my vaccine,
I got
you
you.
can't,
I got you.
yeah.
Right.
But you get what I'm saying? Like, it only just it like, makes your tongue think it's on fire. It's a chemical reaction. The way that the stuff in
Well, whatever it is.
peppers, it reacts with your tongue and it makes it think it's on fire.
Well, it be thinking, it really be thinking this on fire because my tongue
You
and the
don't
roof
know.
of my
You
mouth.
ain't even, like, I should give you, like, we should take a challenge and let's do the drop.
What the hell are you talking about? What drop?
I don't know, like a hot ones challenge. We just put a drop on
Oh.
shit.
I mean, I could do that. I'm just saying, I don't prefer to do that. And of my food.
I think we should stick with coffee.
Yeah, I think we should stick with it.
Speaking of that, I got a new coffee.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
A new coffee.
Well, it's new in the sense that I ran out of the other stuff and I needed to go to the store and I found one on sale at the store.
Oh,
Excuse me.
So I was like, oh, that'll work.
yeah, buddy.
But I do have some stuff coming in this week. Speaking of that, let's choose our.
I don't speak cough.
Are you sure? Oh, Jesus Christ! Here, take that for me.
I know what that name is, Jesus Christ.
Oh, that's what Brady said we needed. Brady said y'all need Jesus.
Not we need Jesus.
I don't need Jesus, but if he wants to come along, I'm okay with that. But I don't need him.
You silly.
I don't need him.
No, I don't need him.
But if you want to join me for the ride,
But he can come along. He's welcome. You think he gonna smoke a joint with us?
Who?
Jesus!
Yeah, he smokes weed.
mm-hmm.
He definitely does.
He might be gay too.
That's just a good point.
He never did have a wife.
Some people say he got married.
These folks cut me to shreds on the internet. I'm sorry, y'all.
Some people say he got married.
He was. The Mary. That's why they called her a fucking slut.
Mm-mm.
The whore, the prostitute, Mary.
Mary Magdalene.
Yeah, there's belief that that was his
Because they
wife.
might have gotten married.
No, that was his wife, and they treated her like a whore after the fact. So women, because Christianity is all about making sure women don't have any power. Like all the stories are basically set.
See, I didn't hear that story.
What? It's because it's not real.
But I'm just
Like
saying,
it
I
was
didn't hear that story.
I think it's part of the whole. You know where I heard it from?
Where?
What's that stupid ass movie with Tom Hanks? He did like 3 of them.
Oh, the Da Vinci Code.
Da Vinci Code.
Yes, that's what the Da Vinci Code's about.
Yeah,
The
there's
Da Vinci
some.
Code's about the fact that the whole premise of the whole thing is that Jesus had kids with
Yeah,
Mary.
right,
And there's
right.
an actual bloodline.
I forgot all about that. Yeah, you're right.
And they protect the bloodline.
And they protect the bloodline.
Yeah. Again, I don't. He was a carpenter. He was like any other carpenter.
But
What if one day I?
But I
turned
think
into
between the
Jesus?
ages of, supposedly between the ages of 17 and 30, there's no record of what he did.
No, that's I know. Because it wasn't until he was in his 30s that he decided to actually, because he had this whole thing where he got stuck in the desert
So was he?
for 30 days.
But he was born a Jew. Did he ever practice Judaism?
He was a Jew all the way up till he
That's
died.
what I'm saying. He was born.
He was just a Jew that was preaching love and non-heretical things. He was saying that God is you and God is love. God is.
Well, then why did the Christians grasp onto him so hard? He must have been of Christian faith.
No, he is the Christian faith.
Well,
That's
I mean,
what I'm
they
saying.
solved him.
No,
But he was born a Jew.
No,
But they,
he died a Jew. He died a Jew.
Well, he had to. He was born a Jew. He had to die a Jew.
What?
I said, let me not argue because I know I don't know.
No, he was.
He was killed by Jews.
Right, and he was born a
Because-
Jew and he died a Jew.
Yes, and then afterwards, because he was people that picked up his mantle and was like, oh, the teachings of this prophet. Because Jesus is a prophet,
Okay,
the
I
Son
got
of
that.
God. He's-
Yeah, because they
Yeah.
weren't called Christians
But
at the time.
wait a minute.
It's the
Was
people
there
that adopted his
Christianity
teaching.
before Jesus Christ?
No.
Okay, that's
It's
the point.
300
That's the
years-
point I'm making.
300 years later, they started writing the stories down.
That's the point I'm making. That's the point I'm making.
What's your point?
A Jew was the beginning of Christianity.
Oh yeah, it's understood that
Oh yeah, I
they're all religions
because they all come from Abraham. Muslims are the same thing. There's 3 religions around the world that are based on Abraham. That's
Yeah.
Judaism,
Yeah.
Christianity, and Muslims. And it goes Jews were first, obviously, and then the Christians came in, and right after the Christians were the Muslims. Because Jesus is in the Quran. He's just another prophet,
just another
like
prophet.
Muhammad. Muhammad just happened to be the final one. The guy, from what I understand. I don't know the full story on that. And then you got the
Well,
Eastern...
Muhammad went up to heaven. Or went somewhere.
Well, then you have the Eastern philosophies, which are completely different. They're all about people and gods and people. Like, I think it's more about aliens than anything else. Because if you think about it, a lot of it's about people coming down and helping these wars.
Yeah, and being half monkey, half man, half this.
Yeah, like...
And that goes back to the Egyptians as well. With the half animal, half human stuff.
That is true.
And it's also with the, what do we call it, the Nephilim?
The what?
The Nephilim. They're the ones that came down here and mated with humans.
Okay.
Angel?
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
They were giants.
Oh. Giants?
Yeah, they were giants.
That's where all the big people come from anywhere, all the time.
Giants.
All you 7-foot motherfuckers.
You're talking about giants. Like you're talking about practice.
Sound like you don't believe in Father.
I don't.
Oh, you don't believe there were ever giant men?
That
11-foot tall men?
I believe Shaq still lives.
Yeah.
What about Paul Bunyan?
Oh,
Paul
sure.
Bunyan.
These men
Hold
were
on.
11 and 12 feet tall.
Do I think there was a race of people that were 11 feet, 12 feet tall? There could have been, yeah.
Paul
I'm sure
Bunyan.
there was.
Yeah. There definitely could have been.
Because we've got race of people on Earth right now that are 7 and 8 feet tall.
True. Where?
In Africa.
Really?
Some of those Maasai guys, man, are
Yeah,
7'1",
I was about to say
7'5", 7'3".
Really?
Yeah.
There's a lot of 7-foot people in the world.
Well, no, there's a lot of seven.
Especially in Africa, the whole tribes in Africa. The women are like 6 foot tall. The women are like 6 feet taller than you.
Well, yeah, I'm not tall.
I'm just saying.
You short.
I'm short, man.
They're a tall. It's the Maasai.
Highly short white man.
There's two of them. It's the Maasai and another.
I mean, I'm not short though. I definitely see more. Like I see
Oh, no,
equal.
you're not
amount-
short.
No, I
No,
see
you're
equal
not.
amounts of short people and
Yeah,
equal
you're not
amounts
short.
shorter people and equal amounts of
You're
people tall.
average height.
How tall are you, Fox? Like 5'8"?
5'9".
That's average.
I work with a guy. His name's 5'4", 5'5".
Dude, we played.
That's little.
We played in this golf because I play in that golf league, and one of the dudes that we had to play against was 5'4".
Small guy.
Yeah, it was like damn tiny. And then his buddy was like 6'3", and he'd be like, "What?" It's like, holy shit! He's like one of those dudes when he hits it, it's coming off the fucking club so fast,
Yeah.
and it hits the mat, and you're like, "Oh, is it gonna break it?" And then you watch it, it's like 300 yards. It's like, holy shit, I can't do that.
Launch that motherfucker.
It takes so much speed.
Are you still watching that guy?
A lot of torque.
A lot
in
of
the
torque.
hips.
You
That's
still
why
watching that
fucking-
guy?
Man, this
That's
man
why,
is going off.
That's why Woods was always so fucked up.
Yeah.
That's why his career was, because
What you
Yeah,
talking about?
back problems.
Jack Nicholson, if you look at Jack didn't hit, he like hit far, obviously, he hit well, but Tiger fucking crushed him.
Oh, yeah.
And that torque tweaked his back hardcore, because,
He probably wasn't doing anything
oh, I'm sure
to it. He probably wasn't maintaining this shit.
Come on, dude, you don't think that dude's spending millions of dollars?
Bro, did you hear about what the fuck Tiger Woods was doing? He wasn't doing no working out. He was out fucking around on his wife.
That's all he was doing?
I mean,
No, he
the reports were a lot of
Well, he
women.
works hard.
I mean, I'm sure he did,
Yeah, he
but
works
you can
hard.
tell his back was not the most important thing to him. At the
He's
time.
an athlete, but then again, we don't know what he did in the past when he was younger. He might have hurt his
Yes,
back
we
some kind of
do.
way.
We do know what Tiger
You know what I'm
is.
saying is,
Because everyone's known Tiger since he was a kid.
yeah, what I'm saying is he could have had an injury when he was
No,
younger
he didn't.
that could lead to that
Oh.
later on in life.
No, it's more of, like he said, if he doesn't get the proper training in and keep the core at a perfect maintained speed, it'll break
Mm-hmm.
spinning at that fucking speed.
I think he slipped up on his
I don't see that. Man. He was
Maintaining.
professional, man. He was professional.
He was a professional, but he was a
And
professional.
he had been
before.
doing that ever since he was like 7 years old, dude. He just started doing it.
Yeah, and
So-
he done also had.
So
Also, too, I forgot about this. He done had 2 car accidents as well, too.
that's what I'm saying. See, it could have been something else that aggravated it, and he just can't. It's like I used to roller skate. I used to love roller
Is he
skate.
gonna come? I don't know. If
I had an
he's
injury and I could
Probably
never
not.
roller skate again.
I mean, maybe, because
Well, he got the best doctors.
you can golf.
Oh, dude,
You
did you
go-
hear how
you
much
go
Russell
home.
Willis? Well, Russell.
Russell Wilson.
There you go. You don't even know who he is, but you knew the name.
I do know who he is.
Really?
Yeah, he's quarterback for Seattle.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he got your ass
Mine-
together, Fox.
But
Belong.
he's leaving Seattle, isn't he?
Oh, and he
as
knew.
of right now, he's probably going to, but he spends $1 million a year on his fucking health.
Yeah.
Just on his food.
I heard that.
Just to stay in that optimal, like, be able to take a shitty team in the NFL and make them fucking 9 wins.
That's what they said about LeBron. They said he spends like $1 million
Well, look at him.
just on his
Well,
He's 38 years
training and
old,
recovery and shit.
and he looks like he's in better health than half
well, I
the
mean,
kids.
I'm sure that his diet is a high, very expensive diet.
That's the
to begin
point.
with.
They spend
And then you
$1
got-
million on their fucking chefs alone.
That's
Just
what I'm
the
saying.
chef.
The chef, and yeah, exactly.
And then he gets up in the morning.
And the chef is a nutritionist and all
That's
of that
why I
stuff.
fucked up. I should have been a fucking chef to the stars, to the athletes.
I want to be the pot server.
I could be cooking in OBJ kitchen right
Look
now.
at me, I'm like, yeah.
Shit. Fox, you better give me the hookup.
Hook up.
Yeah.
That's the whole reason why I'm not going to the Philippines, because I can't smoke no weed over there.
Dude, it's the only reason I'm not in Sweden. We'd be in Sweden right now if weed was legal. Fuck this place, man.
But
Over there, dude, you can be. I could go work at a fucking kitchen in a school and make kids food, and live a better life than
you could, you're right.
I could ever do here. Having a real
Could
job.
you go to work every day as a lunch person though?
If I could get fucking high beforehand, yeah.
Fox, that would be fucking hilarious.
And you
Your
could be in
ass
Vietnam, dude, and you could live for
seeing Fox
$1,000
behind
a
the
month,
counter.
man. You and your woman both.
Mashed
could live for
potatoes or
$1,000
baked
a month.
beans.
1,000 a month. You could live over in Vietnam.
Yeah, I know.
Come on, lunch
But I
lady.
wouldn't. No, would I go to Sweden to be a? No, I wouldn't do that. I would have done it 10, 15 years ago before I got to this point.
I think I would.
If I had met Pella before I
Earlier.
earlier, then
Yeah.
there's a chance that maybe this wasn't going right. But nah, I jumped.
See, I don't want to go from a cold climate to another cold climate.
It's not as cold as here.
Still, it gets cold. I want to go somewhere where the temperature stays between 70 and 85 all the time.
I don't disagree with that.
And that's close
not
to
a
the
bad
equator. And that's close to the equator.
That is not a bad idea.
South America.
Yeah, everybody's talking about
Oh, my aunt might be coming down. That ought to be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
coming down from up north.
She might not, and it's not might. She actually is coming down because she's getting a puppy.
Oh,
Hey, reach over and grab those and throw those in the oven. Would you?
nice.
Actually, I gotta put the timer on. Never mind.
Yeah, because your timer is warm.
Are you talking about Chris?
Chris, yeah, she
Yeah.
said. Remember, she said she's getting a puppy,
Yeah, yeah.
German Shepherd puppy, down in Warren.
Those are good dogs.
Yeah, I was.
They shed a lot. That's the only problem with the German Shepherd.
And you need space
He
for
sheds
them,
a
man.
whole
You gotta
lot.
have some space for them. But my parents, my stepmom and my dad raised fucking like. Remember how Lou had the puppies?
Yeah.
And people used to, when I first got MJ, dude, that's what everyone asked me. Are you having puppies with her?
Yeah.
Because she was a big female.
Yeah.
So people were like, dude, you know what you need? No, it's not. I've done it, man. It sucks.
Yeah.
We had like 4 fucking litters when I was a teenager of German Shepherd puppies. That shit is horrible. That shit is not fun. And it's not worth it. It's not worth the money you get because they were selling them for $1,200, $1,500 because they're AKC registered fucking
Yeah.
German Shepherds. So they're selling them for $1,200, $1,500 a pop in the 90s.
Yeah.
It was like Jesus, but no, no way.
With papers that.
Yeah, they had full
They
papers.
go for more than that.
Shadow Midnight Run was the name of one of the dogs.
They can go for more than that, dude.
Shadow's Midnight Run.
Yeah,
I've
Tequila's Sunshine something was the name of the other dog, and Sergeant's Tequila Rise or some stupid shit.
I breeded chows for about 3 or 4 years.
I used to have
Really?
a child.
Yep,
Chows can be mean.
Yeah, I used to have one, and he was very, very protective of me.
they're
Oh,
super protective,
bear-looking
and they're good with
dog.
kids.
Bear-looking motherfucker.
Yeah,
A Chow bit Dakota
in fact,
Oh.
when he was a kid.
they.
Chow fucking snapped at him, bit him on the hand.
In fact, a girl called the police on me.
Oh, because of the dog?
My biggest dog was named Bear, and that's what he looked like. He
Mhm.
was huge. He had a
Yeah.
big ass head with a big mane.
Where did you get Chows from?
And the girl called the police. They told the police a guy was walking down the street with a bear.
What year was this?
I think it was about 82. Yeah, around 82.
With a bear.
Yep.
I mean, that's almost as bad as that.
The
dude
police
in the
pulled up,
park
they were laughing.
with the fucking lady. The
Yeah.
recent one where she was like, "I'm calling the cops," because he told her to put the dog on the fucking.
Oh,
leash.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
One
dead.
of the
This
first
motherfucker got a
Karens.
bear on the leash.
One of the first Karens because you had a bear.
A bear on the leash.
Police
baby.
pulled up, they were laughing. He said, "You know you're scaring everybody." I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "We got to call a man with a
Did you
bear."
worry about that back then? Were you like, if those cops, how many cops would pull up?
Oh,
One
just
car?
One car.
Yeah,
There was one guy in the car.
yeah, and he wouldn't really hurt.
You don't have one-man cars no more.
They what?
You don't have one-man patrol cars anymore.
No, you have a witness.
They have
Yeah.
two. Yeah, they have two.
Even though it's-
Back then,
Well, that was before
Doesn't
body
matter.
cams.
It
Now
doesn't
we got
matter.
body
The
cams.
only witness or
the,
not.
the only police that are in the car by themselves are usually traffic enforcement police.
Yeah,
That's
once
all
they
they
just get a
do.
ticket.
Yeah, that's all they're doing.
Yeah, if you're not dealing with people.
I mean, I guess.
If you're not dealing with criminals.
I was about to say, yeah, because you deal with regular people when they come up telling you not to put their ticket on that car. Because I walk to work and I've definitely seen some parking enforcers almost assaulted over tickets. And people be
Pissed
you know,
over
I mean,
20
they
bucks.
do not be wanting to pay them tickets. Like, no, bitch,
You
don't put
parked
that on my
there.
car.
You parked there. You knew what the rules were.
Mm-hmm.
So take your ticket and pay it or not.
I mean, right, because you can still not pay it. You don't have to pay it just because you
Hell
have
no,
to.
you don't. Yeah, you can just walk away.
Right. You can definitely not pay it, and they'll definitely
Have you
suspend it
not
for
seen
your
Liar
license.
Liar?
You have to have more than one ticket though for
I mean, if it get that far, but I imagine if you ignoring one,
And I think you got to
then
do
you
more.
ignore them all.
I don't know if they'll do it for parking tickets. I know they'll do it for moving violation tickets, but I don't know if they'll do it for
Yeah, I don't
parking
think parking tickets. I think you just get fined more and more.
tickets. Yeah, he's gonna.
Nah.
And they can only fine you so much.
Eventually, they gonna do something.
Well, if you had a lot of them, yeah, they would. Yeah, but if you got one or two, you know,
They gonna do something.
they can fuck with that.
Because if that's the case, then people could just continue to park and just ignore the tickets.
Well, I said if you have
They're gonna-
multiple
That's what
tickets.
that's what I'm saying.
It's because when a ticket agent comes up and catches you, they're gonna tow your shit. If you
Well,
keep violating, at some point the ticket agent's
you
gonna
know
see
what
you
they
have
do.
5 or 6, and they're gonna tow it.
But that's what I'm saying. Or I can pay that money.
You
and
know
get my
what they
car right
do?
back.
Or they put that fucking
That
wheel.
boot.
Yeah, the boot on
It's
the wheel.
called the boot. It
Yeah.
happened to me.
Oh no, because then you got to pay all the tickets.
It happened to me, man. You know, I was working at Wayne State. We were redoing a Victorian house. We were redoing it, right? And my car was parked out in front. And my friend came up and said, "Hey, Rudy, you got something yellow on your wheel. What are you talking about? Come here." He said, "I don't know what it is." We went out there and I looked at it and said, "It's a fucking..." What they do in Wayne State, they got a police car that drives around and checks every license plate.
Mm-hmm.
He calls in, and if you got back tickets or you got warrants,
Yeah.
they boot your car.
When I tell you, they had to involve them bitches because somebody figured out that you could just take the fucking tire off the car with the boot on it and just put your spare tire on it. So now they have that plate that covers your lug nuts, so you can't reach your nuts to take the tire off. That's funny.
You have to be fast because the lady told me they give you 45 minutes to an hour once they put the
Once
boot
they
on
boot
there.
it?
And if you don't,
Yeah.
show up, you just tow that motherfucker away.
I was about to say, and back then, I imagine, yeah, you could probably change that tire in 45
Can't do they
minutes.
tow shit like crazy here. It's fucking stupid.
I know it
It's fucking
is.
retarded.
It's a money grab.
It's gotta be kickbacks.
Yeah, it's a money grab.
Tons of kickbacks.
Money grab.
Let me tell you, it's gonna be summertime, and it's gonna be open season in our parking lot. In the parking lot of my building, like a lot of people like to park in our building and then walk over to go downtown to go to like Tigers games and shit like that. Man, be towing people cars left and right. Like
They
during
think
the
they
summer,
can get away with it?
during the summertime, yes, people still think they can get away with this shit.
Maybe
It's signs in
they
them.
got away with it once or twice.
Yeah, I was about to say because
They say, oh, we can probably go here all the time.
because
They ain't checking.
if the lot ain't full, then none of the residents will notice any strange cars, so they might not say nothing. But if it's only 5, 6, 7 strange cars in the lot, the residents are definitely gonna notice that,
Yeah.
and they're gonna say something.
Well, isn't there security that drives around there too? Ain't
Yeah, or security might notice it.
Yeah,
So you could probably catch a window where security might not notice you,
right.
but especially if you like now, if you're going to like a game, if you're going to a game, you fucked because you're gonna be in a game like 2-3 hours. They gonna get your shit, but. Like if you just coming downtown to like go to a restaurant or something like that, you could definitely.
Yeah.
Or,
I mean,
catch
it
a
is a
window.
convenient spot to be.
right, it's right there. Like you literally cross the freeway and you downtown,
Yeah.
and everybody be trying to take advantage of this shit. They be towing them, but during the summertime, I swear every day it's a tow truck in the lot.
The
Every
money
single-
grab.
Every single day, and then sometimes you can hear people out there arguing with them. And they be telling you, once they put it on the truck, they'll take it off, but you got to pay for them to take it off.
Because they put,
Because like
once they raise that
once
tire
they
off
once
the
they
ground.
as soon as they hook it and raise it up, like it's on there, and like they'll take it off, but you gotta pay, and it's some certain amount, whatever it is. I mean, but then you pay that amount, and they'll take it off and let you go. Because I had a friend came over for a party one night, and then he got like that. He was getting ready to leave early for some other random ass shit. And just so happened to see them out there trying to tow his car because he didn't get a parking pass.
Mm-hmm.
And he ran up to me, he was like, they charged me $75, but I paid them $75 and I got my fucking car back. And I was like, well, yeah, because you didn't want to have that bitch go to the fucking impound.
You pay a lot more.
Right, a lot more.
It'd been
A lot more of a hassle to get your
300.
shit back.
Oh, dude. To get my car back. was-
It's all a scam.
Oh, it's
It's a scam.
a giant racket.
They busted a bunch of Detroit police just last year. They had a racket going with tow trucks where they would call them and tell them what stuff was. They weren't supposed to do that.
And they was getting the cutter with
And they were getting the cut.
Yeah, because you're supposed to put the tag on there and give somebody 72 hours. It's like 72 hours.
And they would just call them, come get this motherfucker.
Oh, yeah.
No,
they did that to
man.
me.
Okay, here's your $50.
Called me at 3 in the morning. I didn't answer. Left a message saying it was going to be there. So I sent a tow truck to pick it up. And it wasn't there. And when I asked him when I got it out of impound, because I had to send the tow truck to the impound to pick it up. When I asked him what, yo,
What up?
What up, man?
Hello.
when I asked him what the fuck time they picked it up, when I looked at the sheet, it was 2 minutes after I got the call from the cop.
They set you up.
And he said it must have been in the road.
Yeah, right.
I was like, I
That
know
was their excuse.
I know
Yeah,
it
they
wasn't
said-
in the fucking road. What am I supposed to do? I'm at this point where I'm lucky I can get it out because I have 2 weeks insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is back when I couldn't afford insurance.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd get like the 2 week insurance to get my tabs.
Mm-hmm.
And it just,
2 week insurance.
dude, it just died. Like, I'm not shitting you, after I got my tabs or some shit like that, I had 2 week insurance. And luckily I could get, that's the only reason I spent the money, because if I'd had time to think about it, I might not have got it, because the car, I never drove it again. It was
Wow.
a waste of $300.
Wow.
Actually, it was a waste of $500, because it cost me my
Shut
tow.
off and get whatever they can for it.
Yeah, to be like, fuck it, let me get my shit out of it, if I can.
That doesn't take them long either. Your car's an impound, they'll auction that shit off if you don't
Yep,
pay it.
they're gonna auction it off.
Oh,
It's
this
the
thing
same.
was a piece of shit.
They're still auctioning it
It
off.
runs. The guy that I sold it to for like $25, which Brent kept for $50 or some shit like that.
They'll just start the bidding at $1.
The
Huh?
that guy that I sold it to got it running and he drives it to this day. And the guy, because What happened was I got it towed to the. I got it towed to the place that I got it fixed at multiple times, and the dude goes, "Dude, you just need to stick a fucking fork in this thing."
Oh, it's done.
He's like, I can't even remember what it was that was wrong with it, but he goes, "It's gonna be, like, it's just not worth it anymore, dude. You gotta stop spending money."
Yeah.
I'd already spent like
Just
$4
doing
grand.
money in the hole.
Yeah, fixing this fucking car, constantly fixing it. I spent $3 grand to buy it. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
you gotta get rid of the car before it starts doing that.
Well, yeah, that's the idea.
Or just buy them for $1 grand and don't give a fuck.
Yeah, well,
Or get a warranty on
that's
the car.
hard too because then you got to worry about, like, I don't want to be on the fucking road, man. Do you know how annoying it is being you've had cars that have broke down on you?
That's the worst thing that can happen.
It is.
As far as I'm
Good.
concerned.
Car punch you down.
That same car died on me on 696 driving. Actually, I was about to get on 96, so I'm right there on 696, and I'm like, uh-oh. And luckily, I had 3 open lanes, and I was able to shift it over. Because as soon as I got to the
You're
third
supposed
lane,
to slam into something though. The insurance guy, when I blew a rod, he was
I
telling
don't
me,
have that kind of
nothing we can do
insurance.
for you. You know, they're like, you didn't maintain it. It blew a rod. You didn't get your oil changes or whatever. And then he told me, he's like, but if that happens and you slam into the lady next to you, now it's an accident. The fucking state gives you entitlements, and now you can get all your shit covered. Now you can get like 10 grand, fucking, no matter what the value of your car is.
That's
I'm a little late for that
It's like,
now,
so when
guy.
rod blows, fucking, if there's no one near you, pick a wall. Fucking that wall.
Pick a wall.
And just tell them, I don't know what happened.
Well, they had me, my mechanic had me scared because when my car got to the end of its life, I had a Toyota Camry, and when it started dying on me, that was one of the things that he was saying. He was like, man, it might throw a ride on you, bro. And he was like, you don't want that to happen because supposedly Camry motors are reverse.
Yeah.
So he was like, bro, if it throws a ride, he was like, it's gonna come up through the car. It might come up at you.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, most
So
of them blow through the bottom.
That's
I
true.
just
That
stopped-
is true.
I just stopped driving.
That is true.
Think about those Isuzus, the trucks where you're driving on top of the motor. What happens when that blows a rod?
Yeah, that is true.
Are you sitting on a blast shield? You probably
Oh,
are.
wow. Oh wow. Yeah, I know. I was like, nah, I'm not scared of that. I said, fuck it. Ain't nothing you can do to fix it. Yeah,
Those Toyota Camrys, though, they're always like top 3 in affordability.
They run for
and
days.
Yeah.
ability to
They
fix
run
them.
for
That's what I was about to say. I had that bitch.
They run for
People
days.
get those and Honda Civics because like tire changes are cheap.
Those
Lights
Hondas,
go out
you're right.
cheap.
Those Hondas too, the same way.
It was used, and I had it for
Them
like,
damn Hondas run
I had it like
forever.
15 years. It
They're
was probably
built to
like
be workhorses.
20, 25 years old, and I had it like 15 of those years.
I know guys
Always
had Hondas
see them
with
with a couple
350,000 miles.
Yeah, mine had close to 300,000 on it. when
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah, that's a trooper.
That's not
Yeah,
unusual
yeah.
for a Honda.
Especially because I got it right before I went to college, and my college
Who's got a
was
Ford
like
Taurus with 300,000
like 4 hours away.
Nobody. You can't even find a Ford Taurus now. What happened to all of them?
Well, they revamped them.
You still
Yeah,
see
they
Camrys?
changed them. They don't have the same body type anymore.
I'm
They-
just seeing the old ones.
Oh yeah, the
Oh,
old
no.
ones.
You don't see them
It
motherfuckers.
was because of Obama's credit.
Oh no, it
Remember
was
that
that.
shit?
I do.
In
remember
08?
No, it was the what do they call it? You turn an old car in.
The,
Yeah, that was
yeah,
the
it's the buyback program.
The
Buyback, that's
Yeah,
it, yeah.
Obama's the one that
Yeah.
cash or something.
Cash for
Cash for
cars.
clunkers.
Cash for clunkers. That is what it was.
Cash for clunkers.
Cash for clunkers. That's exactly what it was.
That's why we.
It was to get people to buy new cars.
Yeah,
Or
get 'em
newer
off-
cars.
Yeah, get them off the fucking roads.
Yeah, yeah.
Get the little piece of shits off the road.
I heard there's record amount of people doing their taxes this year because if you didn't do your taxes last year, you didn't end up getting the government money sent to you. So there's already record numbers of people who filed taxes who never really had enough anything for it to fucking matter, you know?
Well, it doesn't make any difference. You can still file your taxes.
In fact, my grandma had one
They
of
say
them
do that.
clunkers. Like her car was a fucking menace on the road because she's got like it was like a 72 Mercury Marquise or something. Right? So you know that bitch is like a fucking death box. Like she had like 3 wrecks in that bitch. And it was still in like prime condition. All 3 of the cars that it hit,
Was it a
total.
Did it have a
wagon?
floor?
Total. Huh?
Floor
It wasn't a
open?
wagon. was
No.
it? Oh.
Man.
I guess Ford had a wagon.
That bitch was a mile fucking long.
Nice.
She
What'd
used
you
to
say?
whip the shit out that hoe.
I've been as rusty as fuck being in Michigan for 50 years.
Man, you talking about?
Ford had a wagon that was notorious for paddle sticks.
I don't know.
back in the 70s and 80s or whatever.
It must have been the country
Do
squad.
you remember the fucking?
I think it was the country squad.
I was about to
It
say, or the
fun.
Pinto.
No, it was.
It was
wagon.
station wagon.
You remember the story, the 3 kids that got killed back in the 90s and over in Wyandotte, where they drove into the where the car drove into the Detroit River. Yeah, and they
Oh, the gas pedal stuck.
well, yes, but they fucking convicted the guy. Like the public had convicted him before he even because
Before they knew it was a
because when he first went on
malfunction.
TV, when he first
So it was like a driver and
well, it was a guy who was taking his kids to get ice cream.
oh, and the
One
kids
guy.
died and he survived.
And they're driving down a road which is a dead end. It dead ends right into the river.
Right.
And there's a park there, and he said his kids used to love
That's Southfield Freeway. It did. It was right to the river.
Okay, yeah, I know.
At
Yeah.
Jefferson and Southfield, it's the river right there.
Okay,
He
I
said
know what
the
you're talking about.
kids love to go and watch the boats go
boats.
by, the big ass boats. So he would go there, and then they thought they might catch a boat, so they went there after ice cream, and he claims the pedal stuck.
Yeah.
He couldn't do anything, and it went right into the thing. And he was a bad swimmer, so was his wife, and they barely got out themselves. And it's such a strong current. By the time they found the kids, they found them like
Way down the
500
river.
feet down.
Way down the river.
How terrible is that though? Everybody's gonna think you killed your kids to like.
Yeah, and it was
Well,
a
that's what they
fucking
thought.
malfunction
That's
in
what
the
they
car.
thought. But the thing is the cops. This is how fucking retarded cops are. Like the cops
Oh,
basically took that fucking car and ran it 10 times, like full speed, like
And slammed on the brakes.
to try to get it to fucking get stuck, and it didn't do it. And then the 9th time it did, to the point where they literally had to cut the fucking car because it was so stuck that it was gonna catch on fire. So like it did it in the 1 out of the 10 times. They're like, no, that's not enough evidence for us.
Wow.
If
He
it did
tried
it
to
once,
kill his kids.
if it did it once, it should have been enough evidence.
And a lot of it had to do with the way the
the
public, the prosecutor, and the investigative attorney or investigative guy,
Yeah.
the cop, the way they were with the public and the way they were with the media, they persecuted this dude from the very beginning.
Yeah.
And it was because of the very first interview. He said he took some Valium.
Oh.
Someone had given him some Valium.
He should never said that shit.
Yep.
No. This is after the fact. He didn't say this until recently when they talked, because he's still in jail. This dude's in jail for the rest of his fucking life.
Damn.
He got like 3 consecutive life sentences.
Sam's got the guilt of killing his kids.
Yeah.
Damn.
He didn't do it.
And he didn't mean to do it, but he's stuck in jail. So he said that when the media first came to him, it was like days later. And it was him and his wife, and they both were given some Valium to help him deal with
I
the
see
shit.
what you're saying.
So they were on Valium when they were first on the media, so they looked very
Mhm.
unempathetic. Like they didn't
Right.
look like they really cared that much.
But they were under the influence of a drug.
yeah, to try to even talk because they were fucking devastated.
Yeah.
Shout.
You know what
Your
I'm saying?
kids are dead, right?
Your kids are dead. So yeah, it was crazy that you listen to all this and the
So
cop
moral of the story,
that put him in
fuck
jail
Ford, five
still
put him in
thinks he
jail.
should be in jail.
There you go.
That's
It's
fucked
like-
up.
You're that
That's
fuck.
what made that dude's name. We're only talking about him because of this case.
And it's the only reason he's on TV. Plain and simple, he didn't do anything else. He basically threw an innocent dude in jail for the rest of his fucking life. 3 life sentences. Like, the wife, nothing. It was all him. They said he did it maliciously.
You've been a bitch.
Slammed on the gas and drove it in. And it
Drove
was
it in.
because a witness because you know how those senior towers that are over there?
Yep.
One of those senior towers, a witness saw
So,
what had happened.
what happened?
And it looked like it was like,
Intentional.
yeah, because the car would get,
Yeah.
nothing you can do about it. You know?
Well, there's something you can do about it, but he didn't think fast enough.
Yeah, he panicked,
Yeah.
basically.
Most people would.
He hit the brakes as hard as he could, and instead of hitting it in neutral, you know what I'm saying? Because that's your best
You
bet.
shouldn't. You
I
just
think
throw it
he
in the park.
sacrificed his kids.
You
I
throw it
think
into
was
park.
demonic shit.
Well, neutral at least stops it.
You throw it into park.
I think Satan told him to do it. He was killing his kids on purpose. It's a
Might
conspiracy
have.
theory now.
He might have.
If one of you agrees with me, it's a conspiracy theory.
He might have. That might be true. That might be the truth. He might have killed his fucking kids on purpose, and now maybe he's saying he
Did he
did.
get anything?
I mean,
Who
the
knows?
only thing,
The only person that knows for sure is him.
He was a poor dude living in fucking Trenton. He basically it was his father's car. His father had given him the car. It was the only car he could afford to drive. Because this is the 80s in Trenton. Or 90s
He
in
was
Trenton.
downtrodden from the beginning.
Isn't it like,
Trenton's downriver, yeah.
yeah, the shit, like late 80s, early 90s.
It's gotta be the
it was
worst
like,
feeling. It's like that grandpa who dropped his grandson out the fucking cruise ship window 8 stories onto a dock.
Yeah.
people have this fantasy about the 80s being this great boom.
Yeah.
And the reality is it only boomed for a small amount of people. Well, most regular people that you talk to that were alive in the 80s.
I disagree.
People living through the 80s were living off the steam.
I disagree from a black perspective. For a lot of black guys got rich during the 80s.
Okay.
A lot of them became big in industry and all that kind of stuff. So a lot of doctors, a lot of judges and lawyers were made in the 80s. For black people, it was a good period of time for prosperity.
Well,
for them.
Black people didn't have a chance before the late 70s, really, the 60s, 70s. So, like, civil rights started in the 60s, mid 60s.
And there's some white people that can say the same thing.
Yeah.
But it's mostly people who are educated or upper class. If you're someone who wasn't educated or just a regular worker, it wasn't a good time for you. Depending on what part of the country you were in.
Well, that was the dawn of the crack epidemic and the heroin epidemics too. You had a heroin epidemic and a crack epidemic in the 80s.
Heroin's not new.
In the early 80s.
Opium's been an epidemic since the fucking dawn of time.
The dawn.
Is it
Yeah,
not?
there's all kinds
No,
of
I'm just
stuff.
gonna finish the root.
Opium has been a scourge on this planet. Now, again, do I think it's a scourge? It's not a scourge. I think it's a product that should be regulated and educated.
The
Like
80s
every
is
other
when all
product.
the pharmaceutical shit started. People started getting the fucking.
Okay, so it is a very addictive drug no matter how you take it. Whether you smoke it or you inject it
Yeah,
or you snort it.
If you're someone who can go to work every day and you want to come home and spend your money on a little bit of fucking heroin so you can go to sleep at night, then that's fine.
There's no such thing as a little bit of heroin. It doesn't exist.
Chasing the
I'm
dragon.
gonna tell you right now. It's easy to sit here and say that, but that first time they do it, it is so good. They want to do it again. They want to get that feeling again, and that's why they repeat.
Some people die the first
And
time.
let me tell you something. You can take it 3 times and be addicted.
Do you know why they used to go around telling people that OxyContin wasn't addictive?
No, why?
That's the truth.
Oh,
That's one of the reasons that they
You're
sold
right.
it. Like
You're
they
right.
did.
You're right.
Because
You sure did.
their marketing campaign
You're
was
absolutely right.
because it's not. The
Yeah.
percentage of people that get addicted to it is minimal. But
lost
they
like
give
$5
it to
billion.
so many people.
There's a lot of people.
And again,
Are addicted.
if you look at places like Switzerland, the way they do it is they have clinics. You go in, you get your dose of heroin or whatever you want
Right.
on a clinic.
Right.
But they also give you housing assistance, they give you education assistance, they give you job searching assistance.
So you're not laying around the street with a needle in your arm.
No, you can if you want.
But you're not doing it because you got
People
backup.
trying to help you get
You
out
got
of your
backup.
life.
You got
Because
backup.
the reason why that OxyContin is given by the millions every day, and the reason why there isn't millions and millions, because there's, let me rephrase that, tens of millions of every day, and the reason why there's not tens of millions of people addicted to it is because most people that take it, if they have a good life and a good structure, they don't take it after they don't need it.
They don't abuse it,
Yes.
is what you're saying.
Yes,
right?
heroin is a product that is widely abused in places where there's poverty, uneducation,
But
and things that
but
and no hope.
but OxyContin is just a derivative of heroin.
My point is if you go to a neighborhood where you give it a neighborhood like Beverly Hills over here, right? The Beverly Hills in Michigan, and you give everyone there OxyContin, you're gonna get 1-2% are going to be addicted to it.
Yeah.
Everyone else is going to get off of it in the nice area. Now you go to an area like, say, South Warren, then probably 15-20% of the people are going to get addicted to it because it's way better than their fucking life.
We're creatures of habit, though. We're designed to be addicted to this shit. We
No,
just gotta
it's
pick
about,
the best shit to be
is your life better than the drug? That is a question we never ask, we never even think about. Is your life better than the drug?
People who hear with
What do you mean? Is your life better than a drug? That's not even.
Do you have a reason not to get high? Does your life suck every single day and you just don't feel like there's any hope? But when you get high, you feel hopeful.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
That's what people get addicted to, is that hope of...
That feeling.
Yes, that feeling of enlightenment.
And for a little while, they don't have to think about that other problem.
The other problems, they don't think about the no hope, about not having any jobs.
This feels
not being able
good
to do
right
this.
now.
That's
I'm
right.
going to groove with this.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I'm going to groove with this. This feels good. And then it wears down. They say, well, we got to get some more of this.
yeah, because your body gets
We
so
got to get
addicted
some
to
more
it,
of
too.
this.
It's rough. That shit fucks with your head.
That's the difference in marijuana.
It
See.
doesn't do anything to your body
See.
negatively.
Tomorrow, if I couldn't get any, I'm not going to be all shaky.
Well,
I heard.
break it down.
Now,
Why
you
does
have a
that
little
happen?
psychological thing where you're like, I want to join.
Right.
Yeah, I definitely
But you
get
can
that.
live without it. You
Yeah.
can do without it. You're not going to get sick.
And why is that? Because heroin increases your dopamine, your serotonin. So you crave the serotonin. Your body's like basically a sugar rush. If you smoke weed, it doesn't actually affect anything. It just attaches to the natural cell in a spot where it's supposed to go. It actually fits like a key. Alcohol, what happens? You have to process it through your liver to get the fucking
No, there's a whole
feeling.
bunch of shit happening.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of shit
Yeah.
going on.
There's good reason. Like alcohol has some. There's no benefits for alcohol.
Well, there may be some medical benefits.
There's benefits.
Yeah,
in a
for,
sense.
for certain types of alcohol.
3 days of grape wine resets your stomach biome.
What?
3 days of grape wine resets your stomach biome. You want to change your bacteria.
But then they
It
say
does,
there's a new study saying that wine's not that good for you.
No, because it's fruit. It's basically like drinking juice, and juice going through your liver is overworking your liver. Your liver's not made to rush that much hair.
It's concentrate.
It's basically shooting up. You're shooting it right, injecting it straight in.
Don't fuck with my
Well,
heroin.
Think of it in this sense. The way that book explained it was, when you eat fruits and all that stuff, all the fiber is stuff that's there that is with the glucose, the sugar, or fructose, has to then be broken down by the bacteria in your stomach. Where if you're eating straight juice, if you're drinking straight fructose, it doesn't need to be broken down and it literally absorbs straight in.
Yeah.
And then it goes right at your liver all at once. Where if it's broken down little by little, then your liver gets it in small amounts and it can handle it in small amounts.
They got a guy on Channel 56 today and yesterday. He wrote a book and he's on there. He says fruits are not good for you.
They're not.
He said tomatoes have something in it that's not good for you. And it helps to induce pain. It helps to induce pain.
Yeah, because it causes inflammation. But it goes back to, I was reading that too, but the thing about it is it depends on how much you get. There's a level, there's a certain amount of it that you can have. So if you're eating whole foods, it's better than not eating, like I said, drinking juice.
Eating bad shit.
Because if you're eating the berries, you're still getting the antioxidants, you're still getting the fibers, the stuff that's there in the seeds. Because fruit has seeds. Well, like berries and stuff like that have seeds in them. Because I mean, all fruit has
most
seeds.
fruit
all
has
fruit,
seeds.
all fruit has seeds. in it.
Not all. Some have pits.
Yes.
Stone fruit, like peaches and.
Yes, and like the seeds, you don't eat the seeds in an apple.
What about a banana?
They don't
Oh
have
yeah, and they
seeds.
don't have seeds. either.
Well, it's because it's sterile.
Yeah,
Banana.
because
That's
bananas
Why?
are. And
They
it's,
used to. If you eat wild
Same with
berries-
yams.
it's because bananas are just genetically
And
modified.
the same with yams.
Plantains.
Yams what?
You don't have a.
Oh yeah, because yams are genetically modified sweet potatoes.
But yams grow on
Right.
trees, don't they?
No.
Little
They're on the
bushes.
ground.
One of them
Oh.
is is a modified version of the other one, ain't it? I think. Well, maybe it's sweet potatoes.
Yams are just not as. It's the difference in the flesh or something.
They're in the same family. They're in
Yeah,
the same
they're both-
family. Yeah, they're in the same family, but there's slight differences.
I know bananas are genetically modified plantains.
And you know,
Well, yes.
You know
the
that-
ones we eat, but there are other versions.
yeah, there are
around the
red
world.
bananas,
Mm.
there are blue bananas, there are yellow bananas, and green bananas.
Green bananas are the best for you. That's the thing about bananas.
Green bananas are the best ones to cook too, for cooking.
Yeah, because they're
They boil them in
all fiber.
In the Philippines, they eat bananas and rice.
It's like no sugar in it yet, so it's all the fiber without the sugar. So if you're gonna eat a banana, greener banana is better for you than one that's not. This is again, it's about the amount of sugar you inject into your body at any given moment.
Yeah.
Your body.
But sometimes your body craves that sugar. It's just come on,
all the
come
time.
on, give me a shot of sugar, Rudy. Come on, Rudy. A little shot ain't gonna hurt.
It does. It's so rough.
It's not gonna hurt, Rudy.
So supposedly, Fox, even the yams we know may not actually be yams. It may actually be a variant of sweet potato. Because I ain't never seen no yam that look like this.
Look like what? Oh yeah, yeah.
Let me see. Yeah, that's the thing. People just get them confused.
You got wild yams and you got domestic yams too, you know.
Looks like a potato though. Looks like
That's a
brown.
wild yam.
It does look like a potato.
I have grown and eaten my own sweet potatoes.
I'm about to leave my phone. I'm about to be all
You
fucked
really
up.
messed up.
So
I'm about
mad.
to be all fucked up. I will see you in the morning.
Yeah, over it. I gotta get you going and I'm out. So
Whatever. Whatever.
I might bring the container and have you just, well, I'll leave it at the top of the stairs if I'm gonna do that.
You're not gonna be there when I get there, is what you're telling me?
No, I'm gonna be there.
Oh, okay. We'll,
Yeah, when you
we'll,
get there.
we'll straighten all that out.
Alright.
In the morning.
You'll get my rental.
Bye, everybody.
All right,
Peace out,
take it easy, man.
Have a good one.
You too.
Anyway, well,
When I first tuned in
it
tonight,
is 8:30.
you guys were talking about spicy food blowing out your asshole.
Yeah, Fox.
How terrible. it
We
be.
found out I say fuck a lot.
That's why I said y'all need Jesus.
Oh, I can see that. Fox, you do need Jesus. Talking about blowing out the air.
I tried Jesus. He failed me.
Sound a lot more